Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Chris at Creative Table. We're having a really cool episode today. I'm talking with these two young whippersnappers, Ethan Waddell and Lige Reasoner, both current students at MTSU up in the borough. For those of you who aren't Nashville nerds, that's Mississippi, Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro.
That's exactly how I say it every time.
Yeah.
Murfreesboro.
What is the school mascot?
School.
It's like a horse.
Yeah, it's a horse.
I
don't go to the football
games.
Horses. Go horse guys.
Go horse guys.
Go horse guy.
I don't pay attention to our sports at all. Like I do not pay attention to anything that goes on in the school.
Nope.
Okay, you've just created enemies.
I'm a horrible
sea to shining sea.
Yep.
Lots of people in the borough watch this podcast, I'm sure. So as a lot of y'all know, I'm a composer and mixer and producer and have been for many, many years, probably longer than these fellows have been alive. And they are like right in the thick of it, just getting started with their careers in music and music production. And we thought it would be really cool to talk about, music school as an idea. What are the benefits? What are the expected benefits? What are the real benefits? Is it worth it? And what these guys are looking at in this current time that we're in. When I was first coming up in production land, I was working on 2-inch tape, fellas.
Whoa.
It was kind of magic. I'm not going to lie. Like, do you still have to do the analog class?
No.
For production?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh,
no.
You are missing out because you had to learn how to gain stage properly. And because gain staging was all about tape saturation.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to buy a $350 reel of tape.
That's ludicrous.
That would record for 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yes.
All 15
It's like recording on
Yes.
film.
Yeah, it's like
Pretty
recording.
much the
It
same, yeah.
it's the audio
It is
version of film.
recording on film, yeah.
But I mean, there really was. I'm telling you, when you like rolled back a 2-inch machine and hit go with a good piece of music, it was pretty magical. But all that to say, things are wildly different, and I've gotten to like. I've been like on the monkey bars going from rung to rung to rung. Now we're all digital all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with this. Ethan, tell us your major. Tell us and how you got interested in music to the point you're like, that's what I want to study in school.
So my major is called commercial songwriting. Funny enough, it's gonna say Bachelor of Science on my
yeah, it does.
Songwriting nerd.
Oh yeah.
So it's a Bachelor of Science focus in commercial songwriting, but the thing people will see is Bachelor of Science, and it's like, oh, that's awesome.
Right.
I got interested in doing it because I got Ableton one time.
Yep.
Like a trial version.
Yeah.
And I started messing around with all the stock sounds on it, and I had a MIDI keyboard.
Oh yeah, man.
And I got addicted to like making songs with it.
Yeah.
And then eventually I was like, I think that's what I'll try and go for.
The passion. I was like,
yeah, I felt the passion about it.
I got to college.
That's all great producers start.
Yeah.
Lige, how about you?
I have a long background in music, so where it starts is not really exact. But I did musical theater for a while. Cool. After I stopped playing sports. Yep. And then I already knew how to play piano, and I had been paying for lessons, or my mom had been paying for lessons. I wasn't awesome like that, but they helped me get into jazz.
Cool.
Because I love jazz. I started to hate classical because of how the skill ceiling never felt to get lower, and I never felt like I was getting better. Switched to jazz. Still is really hard, but lead sheets are more fun than sheet music.
Right.
And then I kind of almost fell out of love with it. I almost decided to stop. And then one of my teachers was like, why would you want to go do whatever you're going to go do music?
Like a high school teacher?
Yeah, high school teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We did voice lessons, and then they turned into songwriting lessons because he was like, dude, you have too much creative juice going on. You have to try songwriting. Cool. And I was like, I don't know. I'm going to go work on a shrimp boat. And he was like, why? He was like plans. Yeah, I had plans to go work. I had plans to go work in the Atlantic Ocean on a shrimp boat because you get like a lot of money a year, and then you get 3 months off.
And all the shrimp you can eat.
Yeah, and all the shrimp you can eat.
That is true.
And then dangerous ocean monsters that I get to fight.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Make some sea sand cheese.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So is your major also commercial songwriting?
Yeah, it is.
All right, so let's talk about the majors that are available. There's commercial music. Mm-hmm. There is commercial music and production kind of all rolled into one now.
The commercial music is the commercial songwriting one, basically the same one. Okay. This is all under the scape of the recording industry major.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's like a whole separate music school, but we converge sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about the nexus of songwriting and production. To me, those are two very different animals. So are you guys more focused? I'll ask you each. Are you more focused on the music writing or music production, or is it like 50-50?
Probably
or 100, I should say.
Yeah, true. Probably writing, even though I've done both, just because naturally I've taught myself how to do a lot of it, which I should mention, I did also play piano for 8 years.
Yeah.
So like lessons that
Turn up.
also paid
What the heck?
So, okay, it wasn't just
stating.
It wasn't just like you were a lacrosse player and then you got a sample version of Ableton. And you were like, screw it, I'm doing music. I like it.
No,
Okay,
it kind of slid into it pretty smooth.
Yeah.
But I slid from playing on like a normal piano to digital production.
Yeah.
And it was like, I want to make a song. I'm going to learn how to make it sound better than just inputting it and keeping it raw.
Yeah.
And
now you can do that.
A lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered the question.
So when you say songwriting, do you mean songwriting like Chris Stapleton songwriting, or like composition, or like producing, arranging? Like what?
I'd say I've produced all my own music, so like singer-songwriter type stuff.
Cool. What about you, Lige?
Bit of both. I have songwritten for a little bit, but I don't know how to record. I didn't even know recording existed. So I've owned Ableton for like 2 years. Probably a little bit more, a little bit over.
Yeah.
For a little bit, I did not own it legally, which I do not recommend doing. It is a bad idea. You get sued. I didn't get sued, but I pay for Ableton now. And
good for you.
Yeah, I'm a hardworking person.
Awesome.
Imagine they see you now.
Way back in the 90s, there used to be ways to get cracked versions of like plugins and stuff.
Oh yeah,
By the way, plugins used to be way expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like, are you familiar with Waves? The Waves Gold bundle, which is like their like first tier kind of okay bundle with some EQs and some reverbs and stuff in it. I paid $1,800 for that.
Oh my gosh. Holy crap.
Like 95, 96, something like that.
That's insane.
Yeah. And that was for like 12 plugins, 12 or 15 plugins. Yeah.
You get the 10 for 10 from UA for like,
oh yeah,
10 buy 10, get 10 free.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the UA stuff it's sweet.
Always buy it.
But we digress. Okay. So here's a question I have for you guys. You're a junior, senior?
Yep.
All right. So when you started into the music program, I'm sure there was kind of like an expectation, a hope, kind of an idea of what you thought it was going to be. What have you, in your two and a half years since then, how has that either been like lived up to your expectation or been different from your expectation?
I think it differed from my expectation because I didn't expect it to be honestly as easy as it was to get into a studio from just meeting people.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me, how fast you met people and how fast they'd be like, you want to come along?
That's the network effect, baby.
And then it would just happen. I didn't even think it would be that fast. I thought it'd be like senior year I get into a studio.
Yeah.
But I did it like sophomore semester.
What was your first studio project?
It was one that I wasn't like involved in musically, but I did film it for the person. Cool. They wanted me to film the studio session, so that was the job I got.
Film is your minor, right?
Yeah.
So that's a natural fit.
It was for one of my friends. I think it was Quaid. It was his session, and he was doing a single that's out now.
Yeah.
It was really cool. He had all this like Foley stuff and like it was one of the, which studio was it?
That was Studio E.
Room. Yeah.
No, that was one of the smaller studios.
Really? It felt
big.
Okay.
That was a smaller studio.
Well, Studio E.
Yeah.
It was in like a whole separate building.
Yeah.
But that was cool to see. So I guess it differed in that way.
Studio E is like, that's the audio post for television film kind of focus, or is it?
No, they actually made a whole other lab for that now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a whole different
thing. I haven't been up there and it's been a while.
Yeah, the post-production ones, they have Dolby Atmos for it.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So what about you? And like, I'm headed to music school, and now, after almost 4 years of experience, what's been different? What's been aligned?
To start it off, I guess I didn't know I would like earlier about the studio stuff, I didn't know I would love it so much. So I didn't know I was going to be getting into it. I had the opposite experience as Ethan. Getting in the studios was really hard. I had to meet a lot of people, but I also went to MTSU without knowing anyone. I just went there and I was like, I guess I'll go do this. So I lived in my dorm, and then I did all my gen eds, which getting those out of the way as fast as possible is the best way to get into your major.
True. Right. People should know it's not going to be as fast as you think.
Yes,
it is.
Get rid of your gen eds. Do all of them. If you can test out of them early, if you can CLEP them, get rid of your gen eds. College will be better and you will save money because gen eds are the worst.
Yeah.
I still have a few left over that I'm trying to do, and I hate them. They ruin everything. Man,
especially when you're a senior.
Yeah, I hate
so
them.
Hard.
I hate them so much.
That's bad.
Like, and I want to go do, like, I'll have projects and I want to go do them, but I have to do a history test. It's like,
yeah.
But going and doing studio work was really nice. And then also getting into my later songwriting classes taught me so much about songwriting that I didn't even know existed. And it was not about like actually writing a song. It was about the world of songwriting in general. And the world of studio musicianship and production in general was like, it felt like even knowing made me a better musician. Just knowing 100%. What existed. Like I didn't know
absolutely.
I went in trying to write for film and TV.
Yep.
And I didn't know that was called sync. I didn't even know the name for it.
Yeah.
And then I figured it out, and then that there's different types of sync stuff, or you could be the guy that makes the movie trailers and just puts a formula to something and just does all that. I didn't know about all that.
You could also be a music supervisor, which is and I'm starting to see, especially in episodic stuff on different streamers. Mm-hmm. Man, the music supervisor it's like as important a role as the composer in some shows.
It would be
movies.
I would love to have that job. That'd be so fun.
Show, Common Side Effects.
That
show has a great. I don't know who the music supervisor is.
Yeah,
he has like
amazing soundtrack.
Amazing
soundtrack.
Yeah,
a show in like contrast to that Arcane or whatever that show was.
Yeah,
I watched it. Horrible music.
Some people would disagree.
Horrible.
Some people
disagree. But it's like horrible music. I think it doesn't match it at all. It doesn't fit the tone or anything.
I'll have to watch an episode.
Which that's just like having a good taste in music if it was a job.
But it's different than just having a good taste in music. It's you have to have such a specific understanding of how that piece is going to impact, like story-wise, what's going on in this moment. And I didn't realize this until this year, but when you're looking for, like, I'm trying to like get more into pitching more sync music. I've done a lot of composition where somebody will come say, "Hey, can you score our video or film or whatever?" That's cool. But I'm trying to get more of my material like ready to just, because I have a lot of stuff that I still own that I can like reuse. Mm-hmm. And so I want to start meeting with supervisors. And you got to have releases from everybody involved in the thing, which is great because 80% of my music is just me.
Nice.
But they also want it all completely stemmed out, because I don't know if you've ever watched something and you'd be like, you'll hear a song that you know, but it's the artist, but you're like, wow, this is such a wild remix. They've taken the stems and the music supervisor has said, man, I would love that. And I'm totally making one up here because I don't know if this was a music supervision choice or if Lorde made this choice. But did you guys ever hear the Lorde cover of "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" for, I think it was for Hunger Games?
I literally only saw the last Hunger Games movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Wow. That would be a weird watch, man.
I don't know why I went and did that. Yeah,
that would not be a great ride. Yeah. But I think it's either for Hunger Games or Dark Knight or something. But no, it had to be for Hunger Games because that was way before Lorde. But Lorde, like, you know the song "Tears for Fears," "Everybody Wants to Rule the World."
Classic.
Awesome, classic, iconic song.
Great song.
Dude, she did this like wildly otherworldly thing with it. And a lot of times that's what the supervisor's doing, is like, man, I would really love to do something super different with this song. So they'll get this stuff all stemmed out. They'll pull the vocal out, and then they maybe will have a composer or producer like create some other completely different soundscape, or they'll keep the vocal and the kind of iconic acoustic guitar or whatever. But it's a whole, like, it's a really, really fascinatingly creative role that has really changed in the last 5 years.
And there's a lot of different stuff that MTSU teaches us about the music jobs that exist. I think a lot of what they do is they make you aware of its existence, because music jargon is painfully esoteric.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
There's so many things that's like, oh, it'd be fun to have that job while you're watching a show. And it's like, you don't know the name of it. You don't know how many people actually do it. Like a publisher or a
and
playlister.
It has like the same name as 3 other jobs.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, what a music supervisor / insert fill in the blank random job.
Right.
And
dialogue editor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of knowledge of it, but if you don't want it, then you're kind of not going to get it because the teachers won't let you in the classes.
Yeah.
Because we only have so much studio time.
Yeah.
You only have so much access. So they don't want to give it to people who aren't going to do it. We have this whole program called a candidacy program, where if you don't get good enough grades in your music classes, you don't get into the music school, which it's pretty cutthroat. Yeah. We have a lot of friends that have given up completely because they did.
Right? You get 2 tries, I think, to get good enough grades in a semester, and like submit the application to do it. And then if you don't get it, you either change your major or like leave. There's nothing else for you to do.
Wow.
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't get back in either. You can't repay for the major either. That's it.
It is harder to get in for audio production majors rather than our major.
Audio production requires a higher GPA, and then right underneath it, which is 0.2 lower, I can't remember what it is because they just changed it, is songwriting, and then the lowest is music business.
Gotcha.
Which all the music business guys are like publishers. And like white collar music jobs.
Yeah, that's publishing, A&R, music law, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then we also have another side of it, which is live sound. Like our roommate, our roommate Keller is he's at that convergent point in his degree where he could choose to do live sound or in the box, where he could do.
Oh wow!
And he's audio production.
Yeah, and he wants to do in the booth, which everybody says is harder to go do because live sound is like just moving stuff around and like plugging things in at the start. And then when you get higher up, it's
at
mixing.
The start, it's a lot of physical grunt work.
Which if you're not like, I know a lot of people that get stuck in it.
Yeah.
And if they're not willing to go learn the stuff or anything, they usually just end up being a pack mule for the rest of their lives.
Which brings up something that I didn't think to cover, but I do want to talk about it. There are schools, and for the sake of my bosses at Creative Table, in other words, the guys will have to sweat this if I do something wrong. I'm not going to name any names, but there are a couple of audio programs that market themselves aggressively, and they're expensive. It's not like they're inexpensive, but my beef with them is kind of the marketing shtick is, here's all the amazing people who've come out of our program. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like this, yeah, man, if you got a good heart and, and $53,000 a year, we'll teach you how to do, you'll be
successful.
How to turn on and off phantom power and plug in a cable.
But you know what? There are people who, like, even after 2 or 3 or 4 years, it's like they just didn't have that innate talent or skill set to start with. The amazingly brilliant people who came out of those schools were already super talented when they walked in the door.
That's a huge thing in music too. Is It's like a lot of people that have already been doing it, especially our songwriter friends and people who are going on the road right now, they've been doing it forever.
Right.
Before. Yeah. Like if you didn't, although we have one friend that kind of just walked into it, was like, yeah, I'm going to try this out. He's great at it. That's an anomaly. Yeah. Not everybody's going to be that guy.
For sure.
But there's a lot of people who are actually being successful and they've just been doing it for ages. They have a YouTube channel and no matter how little views they get, they still do it.
Yep.
And those are the people that are going off and being big right now because they're used to it.
So I would say, especially as it relates to music, audio kind of schools, really be wary of the place that only does that thing. And they're like, yeah, we only do this thing because we do it better than everybody else. And yeah, we charge a lot of money, but it's going to be awesome. It's like, I know so many people from those schools who are either now, going back to college for a different major or, they're PA grunts on a tour.
Right. Yeah. You mean
breaking their backs?
Beneficial to know a lot of stuff? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, like they don't have the ear to be the front of house guy. Or like monitors. Gotcha. People think, well, if I can't be a monitor, if I can't be a front of house guy, I could be a monitor guy. Dude, if you're going to be a like touring monitor mixer, you got to know that console in and out.
And some math too.
And you got to be a great people person.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to be able to just roll with like a bunch of wild requests.
Oh yeah.
You got to be able to adapt very quickly. That's a whole different skill set from the audio side. And those are kind of the 2 big dog jobs, are in audio world anyway, is being, front of house engineer or monitor mixer. And I have, number of friends who do both professionally and tour with some really cool acts. But that's not most people. And you're probably, if they tell you you're going to be jockeying big recording gigs, at Blackbird and Dark Horse and stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, if you're really good, but if you're kind of average, what's going to happen is you're going to go to the school and you're going to find the end of your skill set in usually year 2. And then you're going to have to refigure out your life. So
our program is, I would say it's a little bit prone to that because of the candidacy program. I don't know if other music schools do it, but you will be doing your gen eds there for a little bit, which is why I say knock out your gen eds as fast as possible. My first year of my songwriting stuff was fun, but I feel like I wasn't doing anything huge. Which they do that intentionally. After talking to my advisors a lot and the deans of the program, they're like, we're doing this so we can ease you into what it's like to co-write. Yeah. Which is the big, different deal. Huge word in the songwriting thing. And one of my senior classes that I get to do is called Songwriting Practicum, where I go and I co-write with Nashville writers in their studios. Dude. That's gonna be a class that I get to do. Dude. And I write a song every week, which sounds fun.
That's awesome. No, that's hard work.
Really hard. Yeah. It's hard to think of that much stuff. Getting lyrics and sitting down with somebody who plays a different instrument than you or the same one. Yeah. And all they do is just...
Or they think way different than you.
Yeah, and they just ask so many good questions.
And which can also be awkward.
Sometimes it can be very awkward. Yeah. But I've tried to co-write with just some of my classmates. Yeah. And I'm really afraid of it because I suck at co-writing.
That's fascinating.
A lot of people like to think that music is a solo thing. I disagree. No. Music is not a sport. No. Music is fun. Music is awesome. And when you're trying to do it all by yourself and be the next Phil Spector, you're in a completely different mindset. You're you're a different guy. Good luck. Right. I hope you're talented. Right. Because if you're not, you're going nowhere. Right. Which is why being a good hang is so important. Yep. That's the best advice I've ever gotten music wise. Bringing that into co-writes, bringing that into studio sessions, bringing that into just hanging out with other musicians. Just be a good guy.
People they'll take an 8 skill set who's a good hang over an 11 skill set who's hard to be around 12 times out of 10.
A lot of the studio stuff that I've been doing has been putting random bands together and then recording my songs. I don't have an official band.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It's hard. It's really hard to teach everybody all this stuff. And sometimes I don't always get the product that I want, but it's fun. That's kind of makes it fun. Yeah. And with enough mixing and fixing, you could figure it out. Yeah. Which is a whole different mindset to be in. But I pick people who are better to hang out with than people who are better at their instrument. Yeah. Because it's like, hey man, you're great at guitar. I just really would like you to re-record that part. He's like, okay. It's like,
whatever.
Now you're giving me teenage girl attitude when I need you to just be a guy that's like trying to do this professionally.
Do you want to be a studio player? Because if so, you just need to be able to take that note and do something wildly different if somebody asks you to.
Mm-hmm. Which is also like, as a songwriter that's done both now, separating yourself into mixer brain, songwriter brain, and then like putting a band together brain. Yeah. 3 different skills, all 3 of them.
For sure.
And there's a field for every single bit of that.
So I tell clients when I'm producing for them, I'm the vice president of fun. So my job, 80% of my job as a producer is getting the 4 or 5 right players in the room for your project who will, them being great instrumentalists is a given. But it's people who I know on your song are going to vibe with each other. They're going to take an inspiration from the song itself. They're going to have that unwritten communication, unspoken communication with each other. And this is going to be a great time because I'm convinced that whatever is in the room gets captured on the recording. So if everybody is stressed out and not having a good time, you just hear it.
You do.
When everybody is enjoying the process and it's a joyful experience, it comes out and it makes the record so much easier to make.
A lot of the sessions that we end up doing, when you hear stuff that is you hear in the recording, we do a lot of late sessions. Yeah. So one time I did early. Or super early, depending on what your sleep schedule is. If you're a guy that wakes up at 5, then it's like, oh, this is great. But
I've done a 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. filmed at that session.
Me and my roommate Keller, that's trying to get in the studio more, we did a 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. session over spring break. And it was awful. You could hear it in the recording. Like I'm sitting there at that grand piano that we just mic'd up, and I'm sitting there with my eye bags under my eyes, and I'm like, oh my God, can I get this part? Right. And then I'm like, I hear the metronome click, and it feels like I hear it through both ears. It's like differently. And then I try and start playing it, and I think I recorded one piano part for an hour just to try and get it right. Yeah. Because I was so tired. Yep. What you bring into the session, you're gonna get out of the song.
100%.
And a lot of this is a whole other thing. A lot of people disagree with coming like super prepared to sessions. I'm that guy. I'm the guy that goes into studio sessions like block by block diagram. Like we're doing this then, we're doing that now. Yeah. I have 8 hours to record something, and I've never recorded before.
That's I'm gonna get good. If you're in a studio with, the meters running at the studio, and you got 8 people with the meter running, it's like. When you figure out how much money you're spending figuring out your stuff, it's like, oh yeah, we just spent $850 for me to think.
Yep, and to hang out and drink Dr. Pepper.
Totally.
And it's like, no, I'm not doing that in a studio session. Well, especially since I'm paying for the school. Right. Like this is my chance to make professional stuff and set my bar. And then when I get out into the world, this is what I did when I was in school. Yeah. This is my portfolio. I'm not paying to go to school so I can just hang out in the studio and write the song while I'm there. Yeah. No, I'm a songwriting major. I'm going to write the song, and I'll send you the stems, and you better learn it. Or I'll send the stems and the sheet stuff. I'm never going to do that.
Right. Learn it by ear.
You can figure it out. Go figure out the tone. Yeah. But that's been huge for productivity. I would never go into a studio session with nothing ever. Like listen and practice the song myself, even though I wrote it 4 months ago. Right. So I'm going to go like practice my own song.
So this is funny. Billy Joel, who's one of my musical heroes, he would go into the studio to start a record with nothing, zero. And they would go just block book the Hit Factory up in New York for like weeks. And he had in the thing, he had he had a grand piano with a 421. And a B3 with a 421, and then a synth rig with a 421, and a Rhodes with a 421. And he would just sit there, and whatever he was kind of feeling when they were working on something, and they were just rolling tape the whole time. They're just like,
that's a lot of money.
Oh, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Just crazy, crazy, crazy money. And that was his thing. He's like, I like us all getting together and making it all up together. It's like, that's great when you're a
different structure, different folks. Yeah, but also like professional.
But when you're a student,
oh yeah, I'm not going to treat myself like a professional. Yeah, because like a lot of times, good bands can record like a whole album in 8 hours. Sure. But these aren't my bands. These are just my friends that I've got to figure that out. Yeah. It's like herding cats sometimes. But if if this is your band and you live together, because bands are friend groups, really, is what they are. And
you do all your rehearsal at home.
Yeah, you could do all that. You could do all that for fun. And then you get to the studio and it's like, okay, we did it in 20 minutes. Right. Done. Right. And then the rest of the studio time that you booked for recording is now for the mixing engineer to record. Or you could be prepared and you can go into the session with 5 songs to record so that they can turn in one for their project and you have a 5-song EP to post. Yeah. Which I can't do that. That's not me. Like I'm not that guy. I record singles every once in a while. Yeah. But like being prepared is important.
I agree.
I can't treat myself like a professional. Not yet.
Yeah. No, that's a good word. So let me ask this. What, like, say there's a big preferred future red button and you could smack it 5 years from now, what does your life look like?
Definitely an artist.
Definitely an artist. Awesome.
That's the mindset I've had. Yeah.
Who are some artists that you admire? So you're like, ooh, if I could kind of go in that kind of track direction.
Probably an artist in terms of musicians or just any artist. Okay. Probably.
Like, here's what I'd like my life to look like. Okay. Is it Bruno Mars? Is it...
Probably somebody named Dayglow. You probably don't know
Dayglow.
who that is. Yeah. I know Dayglow. You do know?
I'm a little more connected than my age and my gray hair belie. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why being so ageist, dude? What the heck? What the heck?
I was assuming
I'm about to bust out of here in a rage, man.
But probably him, because I take a lot of inspiration from him since he does a lot of home studio stuff. And it sounds really, really good.
Dude, it's a wildly different style of music. But Billie Eilish, that whole first record was her and her brother at their house.
Bedroom.
It's just
Phineas is crazy. Amazing. He's amazing.
Really he's crazy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's the time we live in right now.
Yeah, I take a lot of inspiration from people who are able to just sit down, even by themselves, and just say, "I'm going to do this."
Have you ever listened to Imogen Heap? I'm going to blow y'all's mind. I mean, that's only the I can't remember the name of the record now. But she had a record. You've heard stuff off of it, but she dropped that record like 15 years ago, and it was her in her apartment, and it's amazing
stuff.
So, what about you? 5-year preferred future? Gonna be an artist, a producer, mix engineer? Like, what's your deal, dude?
You might not know yet.
That's okay.
Yeah, I just know you.
Yeah,
you might not know yet.
I want to be able to record good music no matter the price range. That's my goal, to have the skills to be able to do that.
Okay.
So
you want to be like a recording engineer for other artists and bands and labels and stuff? Or
I mainly want to do it for myself because I don't feel like I have the recording skills knowledgeable enough to charge people to do it. I would do it for free. If I owned the gear, people would be like, "Hey, can you record me?" I'll be like,
"You've just torpedoed your future.
Dang it.
Your inbox is going to be, hey man.
Hey, cut that out.
Hey man, a friend of mine told me one time, he's like, man, we all get in places where we get in a bind. We need to chase work. We need to chase dollars. He said, but you have to be really careful when you go on a deal cutting binge where you're like offering your studio services at a really, really, really low rate. He said, because then you'll get stuck there, because what will happen is you'll get gobs of people who will pile on at the cheap rate. And now you're like, oh, well, I have 3 months of work to do at the really cheap rate. And I can't quite afford to make my life work at this cheap rate that I put out. But also now I have to do all these projects, and it turns into this vicious cycle. So that's just a word that old people will say to you from time to time.
Yeah. I've heard that a lot.
Yeah. Make sure sales are temporary. If you're going to do a free I do free stuff for people all the time. If I'm trying to, hey, I'll mix a free single. Don't have to pay for it unless you use it. But what I'm shooting for is to get the EP or the record. So
yeah,
right.
I've heard a lot of people say that do free stuff for your friends.
Totally,
because
you're
building connections, and also they're your friends. I'm not gonna. Hey Ethan, you want to record a single? $500 right now. I'm not gonna do that.
Here's another geezerism for you, and you can ask your dad about this. You've probably heard this from your dad. Don't work for exposure bucks. There are gonna be people like, dude, I'm gonna let you. Because I man, there's something about you I really like. I am going to let you mix my record for free. That's like how good a person I am. I'm going to give you that kind of exposure, because it's like, yeah, dude, if I could buy dinner with exposure bucks, I'm in. If I can't, sorry, dude.
Eli paid me in exposure bucks.
He also paid me in exposure bucks.
I wanted to make, a few years ago, I wanted to make a crypto called Exposure Bucks.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
That would be really fun. It'd be like Doge started out as a joke, and then, it turns into an actual thing.
I'll invest.
Yeah. Cool. What so far has been, I'm just go back to Ethan, what has been your favorite aspect of school?
My favorite aspect of school so far has been exploring what my possibilities are. Because I went in thinking I knew what I wanted, and then it kind of changed.
Yeah.
It's kind of flexed and, waned to where now I want to hold both, like a music side of my life and a film side of my life. Which makes sense because what my family does.
Yeah.
But that's something I've kind of discovered that I want, which also affects the type of music that I'm looking to make.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm not so as focused on it as some people are, because that's their main goal.
Right.
Is I want to make music. It's kind of like a side goal of mine, but it's still something I really love to do.
Yeah.
And so it affects that sound that I put out, which I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Or could be interesting.
Yeah. There are certain artists that I think have kind of a cinematic sensibility to them. Not that their stuff sounds like it's a cinema score, but it's just like there's, Bon Iver to me is very cinematic.
Yeah. Oh, did you listen to his new album?
I haven't.
Oh, it's so good.
When did it come out?
It's so good.
I mean, it's
already out.
Silence.
But I mean, when did it come out?
Oh, when?
Like 4 months ago.
Yeah, 4 months ago.
So it's quite new. I have not listened to that, but I will.
It's very good.
It is his
classic.
classic.
It's like you close your eyes, you put on that music, and you just see stuff.
You do.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's nice.
Although this is classic, like a lot of silence and like little things.
Oh yeah.
And then like
candy.
the best song you've ever heard for 30 seconds, and it's done.
Right.
And you're like, what
was that,
bro? Where'd it go?
Yeah. How about you? What's been your favorite and/or most surprising aspect of music school?
The development is surprising because I went in like, I'm just gonna do this because everybody's telling me to. Because my mom was like, don't go sell your life away for something that you don't care about.
Go, Mom.
You're gonna have no friends. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then, which is the opposite of a thing a mom is gonna tell you. Don't pursue music. You're gonna have an unstable job. And she was like,
that's exactly what my mom said.
Really?
In 1986. Yeah. No, 88. I started college the fall of 86. No, fall of 87. Fall of 86. Yes, fall of 86. Georgia Tech, chemical engineering. And then I started, I had been playing music ever since I was a kid, just enjoyed it, and was playing by ear, which my music teacher hated. She said, "Don't do that. You're playing by ear. Stop." I was like, I don't know. I'm just telling you guys, it was a different time. So I got in my first band when I was in college, and I started like writing stuff, and I was like, oh man, this is what I want to do.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
So I told my parents, I was like, hey, I want to transfer over to Georgia State and get a composition degree. And they were like, no, not happening, dude. I was like, but I'm kind of good at it, and I'm really passionate about it. They're like, we don't care. You're going to live in a van down by the river. Like, you're going to be out in front of the MARTA station with a guitar and an open case, busking for dollars.
You can make a lot doing that, actually.
You can now, yeah.
I've got some friends that make a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, they were not about it. It was very funny. But then I wound up being one anyway. And then when they figured out I could like have a family and pay the bills, they were like, okay, we're good with it.
Yeah.
Like, well, cool. I'm glad. So for those of you watching who may be thinking about music school, there's a lot of different avenues. Like there's performance degrees. So it's like singing performance, guitar performance, trumpet performance result. And that's like where you're really becoming skillful at an instrument or at singing, even a particular kind of singing. You could be a vocal performance. You could be opera vocal performance. I think there are a few schools that even differentiate into like pop vocal performance.
They do.
Yeah.
We have some stuff like that, but they're trying to turn them into larger programs. But for now, they're just classes.
Yeah, that's maybe a place where Belmont shines, or a place like. Then there's lots of other schools.
Definitely.
You guys are just practically next door neighbors. By the way, there's no paid advertisement or anything here, but I will be the first to say that I really love MTSU. It's a state school. If you're going for production and that kind of thing, it is really hard to beat. There's all kinds of value propositions for college. Probably the most valuable thing about college is network effects, the people you're going to meet, the professors you're going to meet.
Definitely.
The people who are going to be the, hot studio owners and players and all that kind of stuff. So there's enormous value there. But if you're wanting to learn the basics of like especially music production, recording, engineering, mastering, kind of the nuts and bolts side of it, MTSU is super hard to beat. I think they have a reciprocal tuition deal with Georgia. Is that correct?
Like the ACM?
Like you can get in-state tuition because we don't have a program like
it's the ACM. Academic Common Market.
But they just got rid of it for the audio production program because Georgia State just got an audio production program.
Bastards.
I know. And it's really bad too.
Oh,
Georgia's?
Because they just made it, and
Georgia's would be cool because that's a music town, and there's been a bunch of great bands come out of there.
Oh yeah.
If Georgia had one, it'd be great, like right out of the gates. But yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, which is why I'm a commercial songwriting major instead of a production major.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I still get in the studios a lot.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
You can finagle your way around.
Yeah, which is kind of the goal. Like you want to be able to get into all different places. Like for any musician, you want to be a part of everything.
Yeah,
you want to write for sync. You want to write for just for
write
fun.
For sync is gonna that is one of the things that's gonna take on a whole new life in the next 10 years.
Yes, it will.
It's gonna be wild. So there are lots of different things to consider when you're thinking about a music school. Belmont University is amazing. It's fabulous. They have Ocean Way Studio, which is one of the most iconic studios in North America, if not the world. And amazing network benefits there. And if your folks have $250,000 to like invest in that, good on you. Go for it.
Or an awesome scholarship.
I would not sell myself into, a mortgage worth of debt for a degree from there. If you're on the production side, I would just say, like, as a guy who has hired interns and engineers, a guy named Marcus Grimaldi, good friend of mine, graduated from MTSU. He came on with me as an intern and then was my mix engineer for, 4 years. And now he's in Nashville doing his own thing. He's amazingly successful and just rocking it. But I've gotten to produce, I was telling you guys, we were talking about it earlier, I've gotten to produce songs in both of the studios at MTSU, and they're fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And I've worked at several of the places up in Nashville, and the MTSU studios are really, really great. So whole lot of bang for your buck at MTSU.
You get to use a lot of nice gear, which I think is something that taught me more than anything else about production and everything.
Yeah.
And kind of what made the pivot in my mind from, I'm just going to go write songs and perform on stage to, I love studio work. Studio work is like, I didn't know I'd love it so much.
Yeah.
And I probably wouldn't know that I loved it so much if it wasn't for all the gear and all the stuff and all the soundproofing and all the gobos and the microphones and the setting up everything. And like, it's so fun. It's so much fun. And like for my first year doing studio stuff, because I've only really been doing it for like 2 years maybe, as long as I've had Ableton.
Yeah.
Figuring out that studio musicianship was a job that I could go try out. Yeah. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun. And just doing all of that seems amazing.
Well, and the thing about those really A-grade studio environments and that great equipment list, like we'll have friends, like all through the years our kids were growing up, we'd have friends say, hey, we want to get, our kid a guitar, or we want to get them some drums or something. What do you recommend? And I was like, well, just avoid all the really cheap, crappy guitars that they sell to parents who are buying. Because here's the thing, they don't hold their tune well. They're not fun to play. They're not set up well. So your kid could be doing everything right, but what's coming out of the guitar is just like, bleh. So the kid thinks, oh, I'm just a terrible guitar player or drummer or pianist or whatever. It's like, you got to get something that's decent. So when you go into that studio environment and you get to experience like the
peak of
it's
the peak,
it teaches you so much.
Teach your ears like, okay, this is what's possible. And so then when you're making something and it sounds good, when you make something in your apartment and you're like, you're comparing it to something that's like excellent. You're not like, oh, that's decent.
Especially when you know what a piece of gear is supposed to do, and then you can emulate it by clicking a few buttons.
That is massively valuable.
It's so valuable. I hate when people say that you could do anything on a tiny budget. I not hate. I'm just saying that for like just expository, I guess. But I don't agree with that at all. Because like you can learn, but you kind of have to dabble in it a little bit. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to have all this expensive stuff, but it's very educational.
You can do it for a lot less than you used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to get cheaper with the gear and like how much it costs to make this stuff.
Yep.
But I think I think if you want to treat yourself nicely as a musician, you should do a lot of research on your gear.
Yep.
And spend money on the things you think you can.
And spend it once.
Yes.
Like just if the thing you really want, you're going to have to wait 6 months and save for 6 months to get it. Or you could get, and I did this, I would buy the crappy thing that I could get now. Yeah. And almost every time that bit me in the butt. And I regretted it later.
And you end up spending money on trying to fix your issues.
Totally.
Because like
totally.
I have been buying Behringer microphones. They have a knockoff SM57 that's like $13. And I totally bought a few of them. And they're fine, but it's not like I can record drums with them like I would want to.
Right.
Like I can't put it on a snare and be like, yeah, this sounds fine because it's going to clip. It's super
On the
clippy.
other hand, you can put an SM57 on anything.
Oh, yeah.
And it will sound pretty good.
It sounds decent.
A friend of mine was doing a session in Nashville, this was years ago, and it was I want to say it was at Blackbird. And so
Blackbird's nice.
Yeah, the assistant engineer was getting everything ready for the thing. And so he had, it was a big producer who was coming in. And so the recording engineer came in and he had the whole like arsenal of amazing microphones. And he's like, well, what do you want on the drums? He's like, Dude, honestly,
57.
57's on everything.
Mm-hmm. We're so used to that sound too. We're so used to that sound.
I mean, he mic'd the kick with 57s.
Really?
It's like 57s are freaking awesome.
That's wild.
They're $100.
125 now. They moved the price up.
Ooh.
Wait, 110.
Ooh.
110 now.
So you can probably get them used for 75 or 80.
You can Facebook Marketplace SM57.
I'll tell you guys a funny geezer story. So at audio trade shows back for years, I don't know if they still do this or not, but there would be a guy at the Shure booth with an SM58 and like a 4x4 and a bag of nails, and he'd be sitting there doing the thing. He's talking into the SM58, and then he'd take a nail out of the thing and he would pound a nail into the board with the microphone, and then he'd keep going. And until once the like windscreen was just completely destroyed beyond recognition, he'd unscrew it and get a new one and put it on. And
that's awesome.
He'd do that all day for a week.
Just destroying gear all day. That's a great job.
But it didn't destroy it. Like he sat there, used the same microphone all week. Just like
that's great promotion.
It's killer.
It's like those Toyota ads when like the CCT cameras will catch the area flooding and then the guy will get in the truck and still drive away. Right. It's just great. Destroying your gear is great.
Yeah. So that's kind of gear stuff. Who are some inspirations for you guys?
Well, I'd said Dayglow is probably one of the big ones. Probably another one in like a weirder sect of inspiration would be John Bellion. I think I have to say it. It's like a niche, like hated and loved artist. But
really,
not familiar with him.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my gosh,
that's impressive. He's mostly a ghostwriter for like every big artist you've ever heard have a hit.
Is he like a Max Martin kind of guy? Is he in that camp?
He's kind of the guy who's written all the hits in like modern past 10.
But he does his own artist stuff.
He does also, but very, very rarely because of some contract deal that happened that stuck him with no music for like 6 years. And he just put out something for the first time in like 6 years.
Classic.
I don't remember all the details on it, but I do like his weird production also. And then the normal stuff is more Dayglow, but like the weird stuff, I take inspiration from that too.
Weird music with Ethan Waddell.
Yeah, I like when they get weird with music. It's fun.
So okay, give me some more examples of weird music that you like. I'm trying to figure out what you think is weird.
What do I think is weird? I think weird is like not just the normal instruments that you'd hear in like a song.
Okay.
Right? Not just your guitar and your bass and your drums. It's like somebody replaces all the drums with vocal stems. And then it sounds really
Aphex
weird.
Twin.
Yeah, his name was Bobby McFerrin, and he did that in 1989.
Do you know Aphex Twin?
What?
Aphex Twin.
So that's funny. There's a piece of gear called, the Aphex was a company that made a bunch of gear. But that's the name of a band.
Yes. It's one artist though.
Okay.
And he just kind of like makes the weirdest music ever.
No.
He's awesome.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. He has this album that's like all random sounds basically. And then all of a sudden there's a song called April 14th. And it's like the most beautiful piano thing I've ever heard.
Wow.
And it's supposed to be unplayable, which is not true. People are like, oh, it's an unplayable Aphex Twin song. It's like, nah, dude, you can play it. It's fine.
So it's like he programmed the crap out of it and just made the piano
I'm not sure.
some wild stuff.
I'm not huge on like his production dives. I just have a lot of friends that make weird music that like his weird music.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm getting a note from our producer that we're coming up on our time limit. So, man, thank you guys so much. I would love to do this again. I'd love to hear more. Maybe we check back in a few more months or in a year. And
I'll have music out.
Yeah,
I have songs coming out already.
Super cool.
Yep.
And we'll bring the laptop and we can like play those.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
We need some of yours too.
He released an album.
I did put out an album.
He put out an album.
Why didn't your dad send me like 8 emails?
Self-produced album. So it's nothing
okay.
like
I'm checking it out.
But it's
I'm checking it out.
Songs,
I'm checking it out.
Are we allowed to plug it? Are we allowed to plug Ethan's album?
Yeah. What? Give us the skinny.
It's called Frederick's Songs.
Whoa.
By Steve McChuddy.
Whoa.
Great name.
So I can't go look up Ethan Waddell.
Yeah, Ethan Waddell wasn't cool enough.
Wasn't funny enough or cool enough.
You should just call it. You should use your initials, and you could call it Ew.
Ooh.
So wait, what is it again?
It's called Frederick's Songs by Steve McChuddy.
Steep
McChuddy.
McChuddy.
Steat.
Last
and then
name's easier to look
McChuddy.
up.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What's it about?
It's about how I feel about things.
Nice.
That's what it's about.
Mostly
Classic.
about Frederick.
Yeah,
Frederick
and his
is
songs.
a character I created. He's on the cover. He's a little guy I drew.
Cool.
So
I can't wait.
My songs are more serious than his. His are very lighthearted.
Okay. Well, our producer is seriously giving me the, I'm about to get the flash, and he's like, I'm going to get the hook, and all your chairs are going to disappear, and we're going to fall. You'll pit in the floor in a second. Hey, thanks so much for joining us on Creative Table. We hope you will like and subscribe and share, and join us here next time. Ciao.